Hi everyone and welcome back to Mummy in a Tutu YouTube channel. I'm Katie, Mummy in a Tutu, aka Toots. And thanks for stopping by. So I'd like to welcome you to my vlog series, Blogger Interview, and basically there I came up with this idea that I wanted to create a new vlog series, but I didn't want it to be all about me because we know that I can talk, but I'm sure that gets pretty boring after a while. And I know that some bloggers, they really want to start doing vlogs, they want to start doing lives and things like that, but they're a bit nervous, a bit anxious about seeing themselves on camera, or they don't really know how to edit and get it all together and things like that, or they just don't have time. So I thought I would like to interview some bloggers and get behind the scenes. Now the only problem with this is that the blogging community is completely international. There are bloggers all over the world and we all connect, because despite the fact that it is an excessively large community, it actually feels really small because you kind of end up with your different groups, your different bubbles and things like that. But I've got friends all over the UK, right down in Cornwall all the way up to Scotland, but I've got friends in the Netherlands, I've got friends in Denmark, I've got a couple in Australia and a couple in America. As much as I would love to go around each individual person and do an interview in person, it's just not going to happen because of my budget, because of time. So sorry. So what I did was I sent any blogger who wanted to be involved 12 questions that they then had to answer themselves on camera, as well as saying hi and hello and goodbye, so long, farewell, never going to vlog again. And then they had to send it to me and I'd put it all together. So welcome to the blogger interviews. Let's begin. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Jess Helicopter from Mrs. Helicopter Writes. It's a feminism, parenting, silly blog about stuff. So I'm going to get on with the questions.
Great. Now tell me, what made you start blogging?
So I started blogging in 2012 to help me lose weight. It was a dieting blog. And for some arrogant reason, I thought that people would be really interested in reading about me being on a diet, which of course they weren't. But it did help me stay accountable and lose some weight before my second pregnancy, which was the point. And it just started off as a hobby. And then, well, it is still a hobby, but even more of a, less important in my life then. And then when I got pregnant, I turned it into a pregnancy blog and sort of charted my pregnancy. But again, it was pretty dull because it was very subjective. I'm talking about it as if now my blog is stratospheric, and it isn't. But anyway, this is the progression of where I'm at with my blog now. So now in 2017, I blog about feminism and parenting and kind of current affairs. Sometimes I get a bit ranty. I wanted to try and find a niche because I felt like the parent blogging world was quite saturated, and I even wrote a blog post about that. So I thought if I kind of narrowed it down to maybe feminism, which I feel strongly about, then maybe, I don't know, I'd have more of a kind of niche. So yeah, long answer, sorry.
How did you choose your blog name?
So my blog name comes from my name, my online name, which is Helicopter, Mrs. Helicopter Writes. It's a rubbish name. I don't know why, but all imagination just went out the window. It was called various things over the years. It was called a hefty helicopter in the minicopters at one point, which was a bit annoying, I think. So, but my name Helicopter isn't my real name. I met my husband on MySpace 10 years ago. That's show me age. And his online name was MNK Helicopter. So, and we started a kind of online, flirtation. And when we met up in real life, he told me that his name was Michael Hamer. And I was like, what? You're not Michael? I know you as Emlyn. Emlyn was his middle name. Helicopter was some character name. He's in a band, and it was a character name that he'd come up with. And then when we got married in 2009, I didn't change my name because, I don't even understand why people do. But so as a collective, we're all kind of known as the Helicopters. but it's not like his name. I haven't taken the man's name. So yeah, that's where that name comes from. So, and now everything is helicopter online for me. So I am Mrs. Helicopter.
What is your biggest blogging achievement to date?
My biggest blogging achievement to date. I don't know if it's an achievement as such. I mean, it sounds a bit rubbish because it's a nomination and not an award, but in my first year of like proper taking it seriously, 2015, I got nominated for a Bibs in the family category. But I think it was based on one good post that I wrote, and then I wrote a load of rubbish after that, and so obviously I didn't win. But yeah, so that was mega exciting, but I knew I wasn't. I kind of felt like I was an imposter. Like, you know, there were huge blogs that had been nominated, and then there was me, who was fairly kind of new to the scene, and I was just like, yeah, I'm never gonna get it, and I didn't deserve it. The other thing I'd say was an achievement was appearing in the Mother book by Molly Gunn from Selfish Mother. So I started writing for Selfish Mother 2014. Yeah, a good while ago. And yeah, so when she produced that book last year for charity, there's about 3 posts of mine in there, so that's mega exciting. So yeah, I'm published in print. So that's probably more of an achievement, isn't it? Being published in print, if you're just a lowly blogger like me. So yeah, that was cool.
Okay, quick. Top 3 favourite blogs you're reading right now. Well, not right now.
The top 3 blogs I'm reading. My favourite blog at this time of year is the Purple Pumpkin blog by Michelle Ordever. Shell is one of my probably one of my bestest online blogger buddies. I met her really early on, and she's got a really dirty sense of humour, and that's right up my street. But her blog is all like sunshine and flowers, and she's like super into Disney, and she's always got like loads of great recipes and crafts and stuff. So you would never know that she's kind of this like sweary, cool, funny girl behind all the like sort of fluff and loveliness. But I like the combination of the two, actually. I like the juxtaposition of like sweary Michelle and Disney. But she is obsessed with Halloween, and I love Halloween, so go and check her blog out. It's really good for loads of Halloween ideas and recipes and party stuff. So yeah, her. Then I don't really, I just read. It's not like I don't tend to have like favourite people. I have things that I'm interested in. So as a kind of magazine, I know it's a bit bad because I write for them, but Selfish Mother, I really like that because they tend to put posts on their page that are kind of on their Facebook page. They share posts which sort of are hitting the zeitgeist. I hate that word, but you know, they're kind of capturing the mood of the moment, and so it's quite good to read those. Yeah, so Selfish Mother, I don't know if that's cheating because it's a magazine-y kind of style blog. The other one is Constance Hall, which is a bit of a cliche because she's like mega famous and most people love her because she's just so pro-women, so don't give a beep about anything, and she's brill, isn't she? She's just like really funny, and I just love how funny she is, and she's like totally bogan and really like she doesn't give up about anything or what people think of her. And I love how she dresses, and she's just gorgeous and funny and brill. And you just know that if you went out on the town with her and have some beers, she would be loads of fun. So, sorry about the loads of silly accents.
What is your ultimate goal in life?
My ultimate goal in life, the year before last, was to get published in print. And then I did in the Mother book. But that kind of doesn't really count because that was like... I mean, it was brilliant, obviously, but I'd love to be published, like, I don't know, in a newspaper or magazine, or, you know, just get paid for writing, turn writing into a career for myself rather than just being a hobby. I'd love that, but I think that's every blogger's dream, isn't it? And it's very unrealistic. I'm not very competitive, so I probably will never be paid because I don't know how to go about it really, or even if I'm good enough, which is, you know, of course, like, it's very arrogant to assume that I would be good enough to be paid for writing, but there we go, that's the goal at some point.
Do you have a job? Not that blogging isn't a job, because obviously it's my job, but do you have another job or a job? What is it?
I have a day job and it is ridiculous. I've worked there on and off. It's a long story why, and I don't want to bore you, but I work at a church, a Welsh speaking church, in the finance department, and that is crazy because I am an atheist and I don't speak Welsh. Oh well, I siarad tipyn bach now, but not very much. And yeah, and I'm in finance and I do payroll for people and stuff. It's quite dull. I've worked there for 15 years, and oh yeah, I've got an art degree and I'm rubbish at maths. I barely scraped through my GCSE maths, and yeah, I've kind of fallen into finance. So yeah, that's my day job, but it's really flexible. I love the people and I've stayed there because they've treated me really well, and I said it's flexible, so when you're a parent, that's absolutely brilliant. And we have loads of fun together, and amazingly, even though it's a church, we have quite a good social life together and go out and have lots of fun and stuff. And yeah, it's just a really good place to work. So yeah, I've stayed there, but it's random-a-rooney.
Okay, really tough question now. If you could only eat pizza or chocolate for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
It should be a no-brainer for me, this one, because I love cheese. I absolutely love cheese, and if I had a choice of cheese or chocolate, it would be cheese every time. But that's just cheese. Pizza, I feel I've got a gastric band, and as you can see, it's not been very successful, but still, carbs are quite difficult to get through, and pizza is quite difficult to get through, which is heartbreaking, but obviously kind of the point. So I think if pizza was the only thing I could eat, I would be thin, because it's quite difficult to eat. So I don't know, maybe it would be chocolate, or I could just pick off the cheese and eat the cheese, which is probably what I would do. So pizza.
Tell me about one person who completely changed your life.
A person that changed my life is Emlyn, my husband. But not because of all of the normal reasons, because he's amazing and I love him and we're in love and it's great to meet your soulmate. I mean, obviously that, yes, that has changed my life and I'm really grateful. But I met him at a time where I met him when I was 31. I just got back from a year in Australia and I'd spent my entire 20s single, kind of flailing around, drunk and partying and travelling and having a brilliant time, but ultimately I was really kind of lonely, and which is why I used to party so hard all the time, and had some stuff happen in my family which traumatized me quite a lot. So it kind of was, I met him at a time when I was like spiraling a little bit, and I didn't expect to meet him because I was on MySpace because I loved music, and I loved discovering bands, which is what MySpace was for. And so I wasn't, I mean, it's typical, isn't it? I wasn't looking for anyone when he started messaging me. And also I didn't add randoms normally, like I wouldn't add a random on Facebook or whatever, but he looked like Johnny Depp. Oh, and my lust got the better of me. So yeah, I added him and then we started chatting. And then now here we are, 2 babies later and married. But yeah, so I feel like he rescued me at a time. I just grew up when I met him, and he was quite mature when I met him, not in age, in like personality, and now he's quite immature, so I feel like we've met in the middle. Like, anyway, yeah, so Emlyn, cheesy.
What scares you most about the world right now?
What scares me most about the world at the moment is racism and Islamophobia and people not being aware of their white privilege. I am terrified by the fact that in the 21st century we still have such a problem with racism and white people are not accepting that they have led privileged lives where they have always had the advantage, just in the same way that men have in the patriarchal society. Everything has been geared towards white middle class men, and I can't believe that we're in a state where people are still racist. Still people are racist, and even more so now because of terrorism and terrorist acts and in extremist religious groups. They've kind of planted this fear amongst ignorant people, and that ignorance has kind of swelled into this mass hatred and Islamophobia, and I hate it, because Islam isn't about murder and repression of women, and it's nothing to do with that. Those are cultural things that have been taught to specific people with, well, not the repression of women, but that's a cultural thing. That's country to country, nothing to do with the Quran. Anyway, sorry, I'm lecturing, but that terrifies me, absolutely, because I feel like that will be the end of us, people just hating and then fighting because of skin colour and culture, and that's just ridiculous and awful. So that's what terrifies me.
Describe your perfect weekend.
My perfect weekend would be, it's a little bit selfish, but I love shopping. So for a feminist, I'm quite a bad example of a feminist because I like girly things. But yeah, I love shopping. So Saturday, I would wake up on Saturday, it'd be my lie-in. Emma and I share lie-ins. So it'd be my lie-in. I'd have breakfast in bed, which I never do. Like what parent does. Adults do, parents don't. So I would have a lie-in, have my coffee and toast in bed, then have a nice bath. I'd have cuddles with my babies as well, and my cats. Love my cats. And then I'd shoo them off and have a nice bath on my own. Probably one of my cats, Poo-Poo, would come in and talk to me whilst I'm in the bath. Then I'd go for a shopping day with my mama, which is something I love doing, and we'd go and have some nice lunch somewhere, and coffee and cake, more shopping. Then go home and bath my babies, and then put them to bed, and then have a nice evening with Emlyn with pizza and DVD, or the topping of pizza for me, and probably wine. Then the next day it would be like a big kind of day out somewhere in the country, or I say in the country, I mean, you know, just like a country house or something, a big walk, and just get nice and like naturey, like being out in nature, and then come home and cuddle up on the sofa with hot chocolate and popcorn and a movie. That sounds like my idea of heaven.
What one item in your wardrobe could you not live without?
Item that I can't live without. Sorry for repeating. I definitely couldn't live without black leggings. They are a staple for me. I am a fat lady, and I have a really big bottom and thighs. If I go backwards, maybe you can kind of see the chunk. So I have to always wear a dress and leggings because jeans look terrible, and skinny jeans are in at the moment, so they look even worse on my massive legs and bum. So I always wear a dress or a skirt and top and leggings because, yeah, to try and minimise the impact of my girth on the world.
Tell us a secret about yourself. Go on, you know you want to. We're listening.
A secret. This one's a difficult one because I don't know if it's a secret. It's just something that you guys don't know. Something I probably don't share very often. And it's not very interesting, but I couldn't really think of anything here, so I used to have a pierced nipple, which I guess with a nose piercing is not that surprising. But yeah, I had a bit of a midlife crisis at 25, and when got some piercings, and yeah, that was one of them. And yes, it was painful as hell. I stupidly, I didn't think it would be that painful because my nipples aren't that sensitive. Too much information, possibly. But of course it was, because also I've got quite big, thick nipples, and he had to do it with a needle. And when he did it, I passed out. Well, I kind of like half passed out. I had to lie down, but with both my boobs out. Luckily, I was literally 8 stone lighter than I am now, so I wasn't just like, you know, I mean, there was less of me to sprawl, but definitely there was boob sprawl, and that was mega embarrassing. So I guess, yeah, that's the secret, isn't it? Because that's not something I advertise. And now you know. Well,
I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me on Mummy in a Tutu. What a great blogger interview.
Anyway, it was really fun to do this. I'm sorry I probably rambled loads and way too much, but thank you for having me, Katie. Bye.
Mostly the blogger interview series will actually be running separately, but this particular episode is part of my Vlogtober extravaganza, which is where I'm basically releasing a new vlog every single day of October because I'm totally mad. So I'm really, really pleased that a few of these blogger interviews are going to be featured. If you want to stay up to date with all the vlogs on Mummy in a Tutu, please don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the thumbs up too. We love thumbs up and I love comments even more. You can pop over to mummyinatutu.co.uk or you can hit me up on any social media channel. I am Mummy in a Tutu for all of them. Thanks so much for joining me for one of my blogger interviews, and don't forget to join me next time. Bye.